from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all our friends out there. Welcome to Sleep With Me. It's time for the podcast that'll go off topic very soon. Over verbosity. I can use over verbosity, but not define it. I know what it is when it's, it's just like drool. You know what it is when it's coming out of your mouth. Ideally, you'll be drooling soon, and you won't even know it because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that encourages drool, puts some drool back in bedtime. It's time for Sleep With Me. I should have thought of that earlier, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Hey, everybody, Sleep With Me is a place built on dignity. It's a place built on compassion and empathy, a kind of imperfect version of that because I'm always learning. I'm growing. I got a lot of room to do all that, a lot of daily lessons in my imperfection, but it's okay. You don't have to be perfect to be here. This is a place for you to rest and to have some space where you're important. And when I say that, I mean, like, if there's things beyond getting a good night's sleep you need, there's links to organizations if you feel like you need to connect with someone right now, to text lines and helplines right in our show notes. You can find it right in your podcast app. Each podcast app is different, but just, open up your podcast app, click on Now Playing, and you might have to swipe left or right or up or down, but you'll find it. So take that step. It's also about supporting the lives of the members of our community. That means not just saying Black Lives Matter, but that means committing to change. And there's links to organizations in our show notes that you can connect with to get started on that path as well. So I'm glad you're here. Like I always say on the show, and I really hope I can help you fall asleep. And here's a couple ways I'm able to be here for you twice a week for free. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots here. We got something new we're trying out. I'm trying to find more free ways for people to support the podcast. Now, what if you could let people know about the podcast that might actually benefit from it and get rewarded for it? Now, that's something we're trying out here. sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. I don't know how you spell reefer, but it's sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. But maybe I'll even put reefer. I think reefer has 2 E's, but refer only has 1 E. Reefer is like a reused freezer, by the way. Anybody who's you say, "What, Mommy, what's a reefer?" Reusable freezer, or recently renewed. Anyway, I was trying to keep this short. So if and you can, the top 3 people that get the most new subscribers. Again, this won't work if you want to spam people because you got to get real listeners. But the top 3 people for January, February, and March are going to get Sleep With Me branded sleep phones. So you could win a free set of sleep phones. You could also get some Great British Bake Off bonus shows for referring people. And you just go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer and sign up. The other great free way to help the show is to test out sponsor stuff. When sponsors have free trials, sign up for those free trials. Let me know about it as a part of Sleepy Supporter Zone. The reason they offer the free trials is because they're really confident, with Beachbody or Headspace or Plushgator or Warby Parker. They know what they make or the service they offer is great. And so they want you to try it out, but you get to try it out for free. So that's another free way to help out the show. Thank you so much. And what do you say? I turn it over to Scoots. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, BetterHelp. If you've been having trouble meeting your goals or difficulty with relationships, trouble sleeping, or you're feeling stressed or depressed, BetterHelp is available. BetterHelp offers online professional counselors who can help and listen. And you simply fill out a questionnaire to assess your needs. BetterHelp will match you with your own professional licensed therapist. And you could start communicating with them in under 48 hours. And this isn't self-help or a crisis line. This is secure online professional counseling. BetterHelp's counselors have a broad range of expertise. So if it's not available locally, that's the amazing thing about BetterHelp. They can match you with a professional licensed counselor with an area of expertise you're looking for. The service is available for clients worldwide. wide. You can log in anytime. I keep hearing from listeners that sign up how much they love that they're able to send unlimited messages to their counselor, and then they get timely and thoughtful responses back. Plus, you can schedule your video or phone sessions, and everything you share is confidential. You don't have to worry about sitting in a waiting room. And BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so it's easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling. Financial aid is available. And in fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. And therapy has been a huge part of my life with the right licensed therapist. It took me a while to find the right person, but I can look back at milestones in my life over the past 8 years and these major turning points. And that counselor was there as I journeyed from one phase to the next. They were giving me the tools in the toolbox. They were listening to me when I just needed someone to talk to and to talk stuff out with. And it's changed my life. I'm so grateful for the professional relationship I have with my therapist. And this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Sleep With Me listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/sleepwithme. Now that's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. And you can join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced BetterHelp professional. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it's time for the Sleepy Supporter Zone. The one part of the podcast I need you to hear is where I pop my peas and I say indeed and stuff like that. It's really where I thank the listeners who supported the sponsors, let the sponsors know about it, amplified their support, and it's a huge help to the show. And I want to thank Bethany, who supported Quip, got one of their children a Quip, Melinda, who supported Celestial Seasonings, and Lois Anna, who signed up for a Headspace trial and sharing that Headspace with one of their children. I really appreciate that. Especially if you signed up, I'm really looking for everybody that signed up for that free Beachbody trial, the free Headspace trial, if you got your Sweaty Betties on. So if you've been like Bethany, Melinda, and Lois Anna and supported Beachbody, Sweaty Betty, Headspace, or something else, please let me know about it. Tag the sponsor, tag me, put them in your Instagram stories, get them on Twitter, or just send them an email. Let me know about it. I'll try to thank you here on the Sleepy Supporter Zone. The second part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone is you getting the support you need. There's going to be links to organizations in the show notes if you're in need right now that you can contact right now. So please use those links. And then please support the members of our community. You know, Black Lives Matter, and taking action to be a part of change, to be a part of treating people with dignity and respect, harm reduction. There's links to organizations where you could get started right on our show notes as well. And the third part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone is something I support, and I'm trying to support local community organizations right now, whether it's homelessness or food scarcity, that are really directly servicing people in need in my local community. And I'm going to have some updates on that, but I encourage you to look and say, hey, who's doing something interesting locally to help those in need that I connect with? And let me know about it on social media as well. So that's the end of the Sleepy Supporter Zone. And here's what happens next. I can't even remember. Oh, Mystery Bard. Is that what goes next? Really? Yeah, Mystery Bard. A lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Posterson sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the Legend also edits episodes. Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer, and Ashley. Eric and the team at Astound or on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. It's almost Christmas, y'all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. You can support Dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. We're raising money for the Water Wheel Foundation. And Scooter might
Thanks,
get
Mr. Bard. I'm at Dear Scooter on Twitter and Instagram. That's where you can find me. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it the bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. That could be thoughts, like things on your mind. Maybe you're thinking about the past, the present, the future, or something, Could be, or nothing. I mean, holy, let's not think about nothing or nothing. Holy, yeah, let's forget I said it. Thoughts, feelings, could be emotions coming up for you, or leftover from the day, or anticipating something. So feelings could be there, physical sensations, any and all of those three. It could be changes in routine or schedule. It could just be something baffling. You say, what's up with that? Except I don't normally say it in a calm way. But whatever's keeping you awake, I'd like to take your mind off that. I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night. That's the first step. I guess technically I've already done that. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones. Oh, so creaky are my tones. Creaky, yet dulcet. Eventually they become dulcet. So creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders. Those are like where I go off topic and get mixed up. Superfluous tangents. That's when I go off topic and then I indulge myself. Other stuff, extra words, pauses, utterances, stuttering, natural stuttering, and stumbling. It's been a while since I talked about stumbling over my own words, but I just did it there by accident. I mean, it's not intentional. Like, I'm sorry, words. I don't mean to stumble over you. It's not my intention to stumble over you. I would love it if you came out in whatever. I don't have the vocabulary to say, clearly efficient thoughts or like something fancy like that. Is that what lucid? There's some word like, it looks like Euclid. Is there a word called Euclid? Isn't that a famous flower? Is there a flower called the Euclid? It's EU. And then there's like a form of geometry, right? Euclidean? Maybe. Anyone out there? I don't even know. Oh, you like it now. Like when someone gets the point, they're not Euclidean. But there's a word like that, I think, out there. And not in my brain, though. It's out there, somewhere out there, beneath the sun and stars, as Five once sang. But some of you might be wondering, what in the Don Bluth are you talking about? And then some of you might be like, what in the darn tootin', what? This guy doesn't know his oo from his Euclid. He doesn't know his ooks from his ukuleles and his cukes from his cucumbers. And I'd say you're correct at that. But I'm here to take your mind off of stuff. If you're new, a couple things to know. This podcast is very different. You probably already figured that out from our last discussion there. Elucidate, something like that. It's weird. I guess I have trouble with those EU words. I mean, not words from the EU, but like words that start with E and U. Also, I would like, because let's see, wait a second, aren't those both vowels? Here's a tip. If you're going to go on that Wheel of Fortune show, know your EU words, because that would be confusing for me. I'd say, I would never think, at least I don't mean the royal I just mean me. I'd be so confused. I'd say, wait, there's words that start with an E and a U? Oh, boy. But, so this podcast is very different. What it's here for and why it's different is, I don't know exactly why it's different. That's what works about it for the people it works for. But it doesn't work right away because, of course, if you're looking for something to put you to sleep, it's a lot of the stuff out there. Maybe you've tried it. You said, well, that's too serious or that's too soothing. Or I don't know, I just didn't enjoy that. Yeah, the Sleep With Me is a bit different than most other stuff meant to put you to sleep. So it does take a few tries to get used to. And you say, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of get that now. So give it a few tries and see how it goes. It's a podcast you don't really listen to. So you may be used to listening to bedtime stories or, regular podcasts or something. This is a podcast you're just supposed to humor me and go, no, it's Euclid. It's whatever the correct word is. Scoots, I think you're thinking of tulip, not Euclid's. And Pythagoras, and none of that other stuff. That sounds like it was something your brain made up. And I say, are you sure? I'm pretty sure there's Euclidean geometry. I don't know about the other stuff. I'm pretty sure there is. I mean, I'm going to have to Google it later that there's a flower called the Euclid, but maybe not. Maybe it's not pronounced Euclidean. But, so this is a podcast you don't really listen to. You say, there he goes again. This kid doesn't know his. What about words that start with the UE? Use. Carry use, but that's EWE, I think, or something. Okay, so, it's a podcast you don't really listen to. Just barely pay attention. Listen to me loosely, like I'm just out of focus. Like you can, even though you might be able to hear me, I'm not really making any sense. But the other side of it is, this isn't really a podcast to put you to sleep. It's here to keep you company while you fall asleep. So if you can't sleep, you actually could listen for company or a little bit of a distraction. I'll be here to the very end. That's my promise to you. Whether you're awake or asleep, I'm here to barely take your mind off stuff. So those are the first two things that new listeners need to know. Don't really pay me any mind, and I'm more here to be your friend than to put you to sleep. You fall asleep at your leisure. That's why the shows are about an hour. The other things that can throw new people off are the structure of the show, which is also different. The show starts off with a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Then we move on to business, sponsor support, listener support, and that stuff. That's how we're able to bring you the show free. Then there's an intro. The intro, and again, I saw this online again where someone said the whole first 30 minutes of the show is ads, which just is not true. And I think maybe it's from people just skipping around. So the show starts off, greetings about 2 minutes. Then there's about 4 minutes or 6 minutes of business, various types of business. Then from a minute 6 to minute 8 to about minute 20 to 24 is the intro, which is all, confused meanders and me introducing the show. And that, I can see why people would think it's business, because I'm just kind of talking about nothing, or that's how some people feel. But really, the intro serves more than one purpose. It's to introduce new people to the show. But if you're a regular listener, you say, I can already start barely listening because Scoots is going to kind of cover the same territory in a different way. But I know I can listen because every intro is different, even though they're similar. And then what listeners do, most listeners, not every listener, and there's no right or wrong way, but they listen to the intro as they're getting ready for bed or as they're unwinding or as they're falling asleep. So it eases you into bedtime. My thing is, if I started the show with just a story, it wouldn't really give you a chance to unwind. And then maybe your brain would start being like, wait a second, what about that list of groceries? Isn't there a better way to do that? You've been doing it wrong the whole time. How come you don't use a grocery list? And you say, okay, I'm trying to listen to this bedtime story here. So if I ease you into bedtime, it just gives you a little bit more space between those voices or the parts of your day that are trying to keep up with you at bedtime. You can always skip the intro. You just started around 20, 24 minutes. Then there's business for a few minutes. Then there's a story. Tonight it'll be our second episode of our episodically modular serialized series which is like a live, what do they call that? Live play or something? It's where we're listening in to some characters playing a game as characters, role-playing game, live play or something. I don't know what they call it. One day I'll realize it. So so then there'll be our story. Then there's some thank yous at the end. So it's a structure of the show. And those are rules around the show. I mean, are the kind of things to remember. The other thing is I make the show is because 2 reasons. I've been there, tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble, getting to sleep, trouble, staying asleep. And so I know how it feels in the deep dark of night. It gets on my nerves. Or I know what it's like to have what I call brain bots, which are these voices that crop up at bedtime from the past or the present or the future. And they got a laundry list. They want to talk to you about grocery lists. Or whatever, something if that part of you feels like you forgot to do. So that's one reason I make the show. The other reason I make the show is because you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a place where you can get some rest and some relaxation, a good night's sleep. You deserve a bedtime you're not wondering about or dreading. That's how it used to be for me. And that's really what I get joy from, is knowing even if I can't make bedtime something you look forward to, that you don't dread it, that I take a little bit of the rigmarole out of it, that I drain the balloon of seriousness. And you say, this is really a high compliment. I'm not kidding. You say, well, at least I got Scoots there. In any other context, the person would be like, make a Charlie Brown face or oh boy, Eeyore. But in my case, they say, that's great. Yeah, at least you got me because I'm here for you. I'm here to just barely keep you company. That's really my job. And it's an important job to me. Now, I guess the other side of it, like I said earlier, is that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. The show is very different. It tends to grow on you. Or, I mean, a lot of people have very strong reactions, non-positive ones, and they say, okay, it's not going to work for you. That's fine. There's tons of other sleep podcasts out there and other sleep solutions. But I would say give it a few tries because it's really harmless. All sleep podcast, it's like I'm just here trying to put you to sleep. So give it a few tries. It's free and see how it goes. And this isn't an agenda. It's just that every single out of every 10 listeners, I'd say 8 or 9 have said, hey, it took me a few tries to get used to the show because it's so different. Now I listen every night or I listen all night. Or, people support the show because they get so much out of it. So just give it a few tries because, And I mean, it's different too because for me, there's been so many sleep solutions or sleep ideas or stuff that's supposed to work and some stuff doesn't. And it can be frustrating because you just want to get a good night's sleep. You just want a place where you can rest. So I make the show, because you deserve a good night's sleep and because I've been there. And if you can get a good night's sleep, the world's going to be a better place for everybody. And that'll be nice. So I think that's it. I mean, I really appreciate you checking the show out. Give it a few tries and see how it goes. But yeah, thanks for coming by. I work really hard. I earn a nice drive. And here's a couple of ways I'm able to bring this podcast twice a week. All right, everybody, it's a time to talk about Daily Harvest. And, this year I'm refocusing on what it means to take care of myself, and it couldn't be easier than with Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest has been one thing that makes me feel better about my day and myself, whether it's a breakfast with a smoothie or having a Daily Harvest bowl for breakfast or lunch. Not only is it easy, it's delicious, and it's something I really, really feel good about. And my mind was blown recently with the sweet potato and wild rice hash bowl. Holy mackerel. It was so delicious. You got to get some of these like harvest bowls. I could go on and on and on, but I got to get to this ad read instead of talking about me and Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest delivers delicious food, all built on organic fruits and vegetables right to your door. It literally takes minutes to prepare, and I never have to think twice if the food I'm eating is good for me. Daily Harvest is ready when you are. Everything stays fresh in your freezer until you're ready to enjoy it, so you waste less food food, too. And there's no need to overthink any of your meals for the week with Daily Harvest. Smoothies for breakfast, crisp flatbreads for lunch or dinner, and food that's perfect for cooler weather, like their perfectly roasted Harvest bowls and soups. Daily Harvest never uses preservatives, added sugar, or artificial anything. And they just launched their first ever plant-based milk collection, starting with almond milk. And that's spelled MYLK. Daily Harvest milk is made of only almonds and a dash of sea salt. That's it. Plus, I can actually stay stocked up since everything stays fresh until I'm ready to use it. So no mad dashes to the grocery store when I need almond milk for smoothies or to put a splash in my morning coffee. Daily Harvest is also committed to minimizing their environmental impact. They're in the process of transitioning to 100% compostable, recyclable, plant-based, and renewable fiber packaging. Daily Harvest is undeniably delicious, clean food without any of the prep. Get started today. Go to dailyharvest.com and enter the promo code SLEEPWITHME to get $25 off your first box. That's promo code SLEEPWITHME for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. That's dailyharvest.com and use Sleep With Me. Thanks, everybody. Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive, one of the country's leading providers of auto insurance. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you could say what kind of coverage you're looking for and how much you want to pay, and Progressive will help you find options that fit within your budget. Use the Name Your Price tool and start an online quote today at Progressive.com. Price and coverage match limited by state law. All right, everybody, it's Scoots here, and I'm here to talk about our to turn things over to for our new. This is the second episode of our episodically modular with the slightly serialized story. It's an actual play. I think that's what they call them, actual play. There's a lot of really famous, actual play podcasts. I think Adventure Zone is one of them. Maybe each episode I'll mention one. That's what I'll try to do. And where people play a game of a role-playing game, and they record it. And this is a little bit different than that we're getting to sit in. I guess it's similar, but this doesn't take place in our world. It takes place in a more sleepy world. In a world much like ours, but a little bit different, where a young woman was raised by a sentient theme park. Or did she raise the sentient theme park? We don't know. And that's the world our game players are playing in. So I guess without further ado, because what'll happen is that the characters, the game players will catch up on the game, of course, because they've probably only played once a week. So they got to kind of check in and, set the stage themselves. So without further ado, I'm going to turn things over to everybody's favorite Hollywood announcer of podcast. Only one podcast, I think. And Antonio does not have a podcast currently that I know about. And I probably don't want to know about it if he does, because it'll just, I'll be happy for his success. And hopefully with your budget, you hired a top level podcast producer, up and coming, maybe both. There's lots of resources I could show you, Antonio. To find really high quality podcast producers, especially people that are up and coming. So without further ado, Antonio's coming. That's why I had to buy some time. Mr. Antonio Banderas. Thank you. As the ladies, as the gentlemen, as the boys, the girls, the friends beyond the binary. It's time. For edition the fifth, to roll many die, 20-sided and more. This will be a gentle roll of the dice past your pillows and into your dreams. It's time for an untitled episode of Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Yeah. Thanks, that's Antonio Banderas, everybody. All right, is everybody settled? Okay, everybody's got everything they need, right? Everybody has everything. Pencils, dice, okay, beverages, you know where the restroom is, snacks, check. Okay, normally, and I just want to be real with everybody that's playing. I mean, I know I don't like to do I feel like it's a player's responsibility to be prepared for every game and to do the recap of the game. And, if you want to roll or something, but I really am a believer in taking of notes. And I know some of you believe that too, but I didn't want to leave it unsaid. So it is your responsibility, unless, you want to be in character and see if your character remembers. But even then, it would be a very high roll to get that memory. Because you say, well, what do your characters didn't take notes either? So does anyone want to volunteer to set the stage of where we are and what's happened and what's happening? Eleanor, go ahead. Thank you. I'm Eleanor, Florentian healer and nurse. And I joined this adventuring party of now second-level adventurers. But I was already with them, but I may sound different than the part that, we didn't record the first session because I wasn't here anyway. But there was a first session recorded, which was my first session. So I am a replacement player in the sense that you did have another healer that dropped out, and along with your rogue that dropped out, and then you had hopes for a wizard. So I'm happy to fill in, and I know that I haven't felt anything that would make me want to drop out of this game. Oh, I'm Eleanor, though, of this adventuring party. I enjoyed our last week's session, even though it was kind of like a get-to-know-you session. I also really respect how everyone's giving me the floor and not interrupting me, but that might just be my personality, too. So I was so happy to meet Zell, one of, I guess kind of a soft-spoken but silently confident warrior, which would have been in the old world. They would have said you're a working class warrior. Zell, very nice to work with you. And so far, we haven't been in any battles. We just, our first challenge was, getting to know one another. But I'll tell you, and then Lord Von Chill, Your Grace, Your Excellency, or just Von Chill, as we agreed I could call you. You're more what in the old days, or even the old days, would call before time land. Oh, because I've studied a lot of history. But you're landed gentry, or royal, or noble, and very powerful, and it's good to know. But you also have now, I did do some research, technically not a sidekick, and a bending of the rules of the game due to circumstances. You have hired a rogue or a nimble of fingers, a character named Granada of Darmok, who also seemed very nice and very inquisitive and asked a lot of great questions. And at some point, I probably have some questions for you, Granada of Darmok. And you will probably be the person that helps us unlock things and check for hidden pitfalls. So it's exciting to work with you. And then we have a character, mysterious character, a wizard or a magic user, Mwata. A very quiet character thus far. And a novice wizard who has told us of her power. or their power and the strength within water-based region, which we are in one, but that you are the representative of the Wizards Council that hired us, and that we're, but we, it's just a little bit of a trust thing of knowing who are you going to be responsible for when it counts. Are you going to be here for us, or are you going to be there for them, the Wizards Council? And also that but I should get to the point. So we were here, and you made your way into this part of this old abandoned theme park, the Land of Tomorrow, and camp where we have to find a staff. I don't have the notes in front of me what the staff is called, but our mission that the Council of Wizards gave us was to help first discover and then seal up or something, somewhere hidden in this land of this theme park, which only we know. But there are other forces, great, powerful, and not good forces searching for this. A magic portal or well or something that connects to another world, but full of magic that could be unleashed in this world. And I guess if you unleashed all good magic, that would kind of become its own tyranny. I was thinking about that last week. But I guess we'll have to figure that out, because first we have to find the staff, or the pieces of the staff, which had been separated and hidden by the wizards so that it couldn't be easily assembled. So we have to find the staff and the portal, or the portal and the staff. I guess it kind of depends on what we choose. And here we are in an old ride called the Transporter Encounter or something, based on, now this is a kind of, I don't know if parody's the right word. This is, so a theme park was a place where you would go for amusement, and it was themed around things. This was themed around people's vision of the future in the before time, what they thought would be the future time. And there's different attractions, and there were shows and performances based on what they thought, different eras and ideas of what the future would be. This particular pavilion and attraction is based on the idea of outer space, non-earthbound being technology, fusing with Earth's technology, but also being somewhat used in an amoral way by corporations for profits. So I guess in a satire type way, that was what this attraction was themed after. What could possibly go wrong when we use this technology for profit first? That was what the attraction once was. And in this attraction, the wizards made camp, and they have a laboratory and a camp within the attraction, which we have not got to yet because we were stopped as a part of what they would call the pre-show, by some sort of mechanical being imbued with the magic of very high-level magic users as a guardian of this area in this doorway, but also to gave us information and gave us a small quest, which was to clear out what they would call the water closets or the restrooms. This guardian will give us access to the wizard's lab and camp in exchange for clearing out these restrooms and locking them up, or boarding them up, because there's some sort of being in each restroom, or there's two restroom areas. Okay, because actually that guardian's listening to me as I talk. So there's two restrooms, two restroom complexes or something, two sets of restrooms, and each one of them has one of these beings in there, which is because of the leakage from the magic portal, strange things are afoot, of course. Why else would otherwise this would be an easy adventure. And it somehow has fused the local flora and fauna and the theme of the theme park, or resources of the theme park. And we could assume that a store that once sold plush or stuffed animals, which is still something we exist in our world, comforting, I mean, we have a different term for them, but comforting imaginary friends or comforting soft figures to snuggle with or to look at and say, oh, you comfort me. Different than a pet. So we don't know what this would look like, but we know it was like a large, is that correct? It's nodding, the Guardian. So some sort of large Lizard being fused with plush stuffed animals, which I drew here. I can show you my draw. Yeah, that's Ducky LaRue there. That was one of the characters, not in this part of the theme park, though. Famous musical performing duck. She was Ducky LaRue. So I guess our first thing is to agree on a plan, but we need to exit where we've made camp in this room where the Guardian was watching over. Explore what I'd assume is some hallways outside of these doors, which are sealed by the Guardian, and go to these restrooms. And I guess I feel like I'm running the party today, but and find out, deal with these beings. Is everybody in agreement that we or consensus that we should do this? And does anybody else have any other thoughts? Granada of Darmok, go ahead. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that summary. It really did help because and I feel like I learned more by hearing your recount. I agree with your plan. I guess I would want to get a feel for the hallways, and I would want to be sure. I would think if the wizards I have a couple questions that I think we need to find out in action. One would be, why haven't those beings made their way back here and had to have a back and forth with the Guardian? My answer is rhetorically that there could be a TRAP to the S in between here and the restrooms. So I would like to volunteer to hopefully discover those. Unless the Guardian wants to reveal them to us. The Guardian just nodded. Okay, I guess that means I should just search for them. And hopefully, okay. So that's all I comment. That's all, but I agree. Does everybody, this is Lord Von Chill here. And I'd say that behind Granada of Darmok, what if Zell and I take up a position and walk behind them? And I don't want to be presumptuous, Eleanor, but I know that you are well-armored and powerful. If you could take the rear with our magic user Watts in between. That sounds good to me. Can you open the doorway, please? This door that you've sealed, Guardian? Oh, the doors have opened. Okay, Dungeon Master, can you tell us, can you take over? I'm not sure. Yeah, so the doors have opened. And you see a long hallway in front of you, ending in a wall at what looks like a T-shaped intersection. Also, down the center of the room is a railing meant to separate, when you would leave this room, the queue, only the left or the right side of this queue line would be open. And there's rotting carpets, and the fake ceiling panels have fallen in places. Halfway down the hallway is an intersection, and with what looks like other hallways or doorways. You can't quite tell from your position. What would you like to do? Yes, Granada of Darmok here. You're done. I would like to search for traps, and this is 14. Okay. You do discover what is a fairly simple mechanism halfway down the hall, which you have to walk around. It's a false floor, and it's easy to avoid if everyone just walks around it. So you could report that. Okay, I'm reporting that to our party. Can we walk towards where the trap is? Is that near where the doorway halfway? Yeah, that is. Okay, so we will walk there. Okay, yeah, everybody's agreeing with me. What do we see? Are these hallways or doors? They are doors, and they're closed. And actually, you see that there's kind of signs on the door that say what if you look at both doors, there's decorative signs that say transportation and transport testing in progress. Totally 100% safe, but enter at your own risk. But below that is kind of in like a white thing. One says C, the doorway on the left, and then the doorway on the right says L. Okay. So those must. Can I try to open the door? Oh yeah, the doors are locked. These. Oh yeah. So this must be the lab in the camp. Okay, can we proceed down to the T-shaped intersection? You can. And does my trap check get to that as far as we could see? It does. So you go all the way down. And it actually isn't a T-shaped intersection now that you're down there. It ends in a wall. And then on your right side, but at an angle, which would technically, if we were using we would say is the northeast direction, a hallway heads off in an angle on the northeast, ending at a set of doors, multiple doors, which you can even see at this distance is what you would call the restrooms. And then on your left side or your west to southwest side, at the exact opposite angle, so a straight line hallway, but at an angle to you. I'm not good at these kind of descriptions. Is another hallway, and it just proceeds into darkness. You can't see all the way. Okay, what does everybody want to do? Should we just proceed? Should we proceed to these doorways, or should we? What should we do? I think you should check for TRAPSs. Okay, 14. Okay, there's nothing there's no traps to your right, but to the left, a bit a ways is another very simple false floor, and actually the blankets that covered it, the fake rugs, have fallen in. So you could just see that it's not really well hidden anymore. Okay. So what is it? Does everybody want to go to the right or the left? How's everybody feeling? I believe we should. This is Lord Von Chill. I think we should head to the right because then we know the pit is on the left. That way we know our backs are kind of, we have coverage on both sides right now. Yeah, I think that's a good point, Lord Von Chill. Is everybody consensus in agreement? Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so let's head towards these restrooms. What do we see? Okay, you see 4 sets of doors. All of the doors are closed. And there's a set of doors on the left side. You can't really see the signs on all the doors, but there's doors closed. There's 4 sets of doors for the water closets or restrooms, and you do see a sign above it that says, you could determine once said restroom. Okay, interesting. So 4 sets of doors. Can you also roll a 20-sided die, please? Okay, we got a 2. What does that mean? Oh, you'll find out. It doesn't. Oh, we'll find out. I don't know about that. Lord Von Chill's not comfortable rolling dice. Okay, it was just to decide where, like, a location of something. Oh, okay. I mean, I could have just rolled it. I just wanted to make it. Yeah, can you just let the dungeon master, okay, please? Like, you gotta, Lord Von Chill, quit being, okay, Zell, I'm sorry, I was just pondering what it meant. Okay, so, Zell, why don't you take over? Okay, so there's 4 sets of doors. Does anybody have any idea what we're dealing with, like this local lore? Anyone? Skill set wise or knowledge wise? It's me, Eleanor. We don't really know too much because there was these 4-legged. They were known as gators or crocs, and that's probably what I'm guessing we're dealing with. Though it could be something else. That kind of sounds like what the Guardian's description was, but then since it's kind of melded with plush, we really don't know. But they would be low to the ground, but very long if they're a threat to the Guardian, or if the Guardian was concerned with them. Okay. And anything else we need to know? Okay, well, they had big mouths and big tails, so I'm guessing both those would be issues. And they don't look fast, but they are fast. A lot of people would underestimate their ground speed. Okay, that's good to know. But that's only what might happen. Okay, so I'd say let's just start on the right and work our way left. Okay, this is Lord Von Chill. What if could we just listen? First, sure. Go ahead, Lord Von Chill. You have, we're okay. I got an 8. What do I hear? I listen at the door. You hear water flowing and dripping and nothing else. All right, I'll try to open the door. How's that sound? Okay, the door is stuck. Okay, Zell, what if I wait here at the crack of the door and you open the door? Okay, are you ready? Is everybody ready? Okay, I force the door. Can I successfully force? Yes, you successfully force the door open with that roll. Okay, so you see in this door, it's a long hallway style restroom. When you first come in, there's places, it would have been, there's broken sinks. Some of them are still dripping. Then there's places to relieve yourselves, 2 different styles, some of which have doors. They're private stalls, they called them. Okay. I guess we should proceed in and, Granada here. I'm going to go on the floor and look. Do I see anything? No, you don't see anything from the floor. Okay, then I'm going to, sorry, I'm not meaning to take over, but I'm going to stand on the counter here where the sinks are. Can I see down into the things? You can, except for the last 2. Okay, do I see anything? No, you don't. Okay, can I try to climb on the tops of the stalls? You successfully climb on the tops of the stalls. Okay, can I climb all the way to the back of the room and look and see if I see anything? And I'll try to be stealthily. Yes, you successfully climb to the back room stealthily and you don't see anything. Okay, can I hop down and can we search this room? Yeah, you don't find anything but waterlogged. There's nothing of value here. Okay, let's proceed to the next doorway. Zell, do you want to open the door, attempt to open the door, and I'll wait here? Sure. I try to open this door. Okay, you open that door, and it opens without too much effort. And it's these were for everyone, but for everyone privacy, and it's a little bit larger and more accessible to all in its empty room. Okay, can we open the next one? Yeah, the door falls off. It's the same as the room you just looked in, and it's empty. Okay, so this is the last room here. I guess we should be ready, huh? Okay. Does anyone want to? Should we proceed in the same way? Yeah, I'll open the door, and then let's just look in. Okay, you're able to open the door. Okay, and what do we see? Nothing. Okay. Granada. Okay, I'm gonna crawl on the ground. Do I see anything? No, you don't see anything. But can I see all the way to the back of the room? No, because of the angles of the toilets and the water. You're not able to see. You can't. Okay, so can I jump up on the sink again? And do I see anything now looking down? No, but in this room, you can't see the back 4 stalls. Okay, so can I climb on things? Oh boy. Yeah, you try to climb and, the stall you climb on collapses and immediately, something rushes out of the back of the room. It's covered in what you would call damp and moldy or greenish plush, but it is still in the shape of what was described earlier as a gator. And you're trying to scramble up a Granada, but it actually, because of the collapse, it doesn't have, everybody roll for initiative. Okay. I'm doing them. Now this is, I have is it okay if I start just using this program from this time on to roll for initiative for everybody? And you'll just trust me? Okay. Okay, so the initiative order or the order of everybody's readiness for action is Mwata, Granada, then the Plush, then Zell, then Lord Van Chill, then Eleanor. Okay. So Mwata, yes, I draw my short sword and go after this being. What could you give us any more info? You could probably ascertain that the plush serves as armor, but it also has things, and then that as you'll see, but I guess I could tell you, is that the plater is what we'll call it. The plater can use its mouth and its tail. And its tail, it swings in 2 directions. So it's a triple, it has 3 chances. But it actually it has 2 chances, but if it gets you with its tail, the tail is a 2 die. Okay, so I'll go with my short sword. Okay, got a 4. Granada, I'll do the same. 3. Okay, the plush gets a 7 and a 2, so nothing. Zell. Okay, I will go with my great sword. Okay, 14, and you slash across it with a flourish, and you see the stuffing flying, but you realize that the stuffing is also organic in some way, and you do well. 9 total. Okay, and how powerful does this being seem? It's hardy. It's a large, like 12 feet long. So, wow. Okay, so this is okay. Lord Von Chill here. I'm gonna also go with my great axe. Okay, 17. So you also successfully on the other side of it. 7. So okay, Eleanor. Okay, I'll go with my hammer. Okay, 6. Wada, no, I go again. 19, 7. So another successful. So it's 23 of damage. Yeah, it's the creature is definitely still powerful, but definitely it's 30 total. Okay, so thanks for. Okay, Granada, I will go. 14 Granada. Okay, so that's successful. Yeah. And now, and Granada, one last move, and you reinforce like the what Zal had done, and you see, it's like a stuffed animal without that's been played with a dog by a dog for too long. Wow, that was great, everybody. Holy moly. Yeah, that was. Okay, so so I guess wow, can we search yeah, you can. You 17, so you find a 2 healing potions hidden in the old hand dryers. Wow. Okay, cool. So, okay. Wow. That's cool. I guess, should we just head out and get to this other room? Yeah, you can. So you go back down the hall, you go around the other pit, and eventually you head in the darkness, and the hall keeps going. And there's another hall to the right, but it's caved in, and they both lead to another restroom or set of restrooms. Now, this is a little bit different. These are, there's 4 doors, but the main difference is these were maintenance access to a public-facing restroom, where earlier you were that was a backstage restroom. Oh, wow, that's interesting. So getting a little behind the scenes. Thank you, Dungeon Master. See how the people live for me. That's always interesting. Okay, can you roll 20-sided die? Okay, we got a 3 again. Okay, so we can figure out, that's funny. Zell, you're laughing too. I wonder where this plater is going to be, which restroom. Yeah, well, I guess you figured it out. Okay, so can we roll something to pretend we searched all the other ones and if there was anything hidden in them? Okay, go ahead and roll then. Okay, 2. So, no, you didn't find anything in any of the other restrooms. Okay, so you want to switch it up, or should we do the same thing, or anybody else? Oh, Eleanor, you want to step up? Yeah, I'd like to try to open the doors. I think that'd be fun. Okay, Zell, you want to take my spot, and I'll be back here. Here, but Eleanor, this is Eleanor. I have an idea. What if we just open the door and then hold it open and then try to get it to come out. And then we just wait for it. Eleanor, I love that idea. Everybody ready? Should we spread out like Eleanor, Zell, myself, Granada, and then Wata off to the side here? Okay. Okay, everybody ready? Go ahead, Eleanor. Okay, Eleanor, can you roll a 20-sided die? A 4. Okay, so you go to pull the door, and it sticks, and then it squeaks, and you get it open, but it made a lot of noise. So, actually, like, as soon as you open it, the creature rushes out, and it gets to go twice, and 3, and 8. So no successful. Okay, and then what's the order? Okay, so it goes Wata, Eleanor, the Plushgator, Granada, Zell, and Lord Von Chill. Wow, we're really slacking, Zell, huh? Okay, Wada goes with her short sword and 13 and does 7. Okay, Eleanor, I'll do, go with my, okay, Eleanor, 2. Okay, and then the Plater got 1 and a 9. Wow, this thing is like the worst. These things don't know how to roll dice, I guess. Okay, Granada got a 4. Zell. Yeah, same. 8. Okay, 8. Okay, I'm ready. I'm going to get a good roll. 18 you got. I got, and then a 3. Okay, plus 3. So 6, that's 6. Wada goes 8 plus 4, so 12. And Wada gets a 1, so 3 more. So that's 9. Eleanor, 12 plus. Okay, so Eleanor, 3 plus 2. Okay, then Plater got a 6 and a 2. Wow, this is the best. This is not good for long term, but nice, huh? Okay, and then Granada, 15. So that's 5 plus 3. Oh boy, Zell, it's your chance to show your stuff. Zell got 13. You got 13 and a 7 plus 2. I think it's quicker if you just roll the dice and I just comment. How's that? Is that okay, Zell? Yeah, at first thank you for asking permission. I wasn't comfortable with it until you did. So 7 plus 2. So Zell takes out this Plater as well. Is there anybody that could roll for like a lore animal, something to see? Okay, go ahead. Okay, that's 18. So yeah, this had an AC of 12, 30 hit points. The tail would do 4 of damage. And then the mouth would have done, oh no, those were plus 4 and plus 5, but 6 plus 2 or 8 plus 1d8 plus 3 or 2d6 plus 2. Okay. And what about searching? Can we roll 16? So you find a hand-cranked flashlight in the ceiling. Wow, that's going to be handy since we're not all able to see. And you gave us a little leeway pretending there was light. No, there is. Well, yeah. Darkness was just this had like a lot of skylights leaking in light. So, okay, so you hear the voice of the in your head being projected by magic. Just to answer any questions from the Guardian, it says that now the laboratory in the camp is unlocked. But proceed with caution. Okay, so can we go just who wants to take the lead? Eleanor, you've been taking the lead. Okay, so we'll just go back the way we came. And how does everybody feel? Should we go in the lab or the I don't know. Like, I know we'll rest in the camp, right? So should we go check the lab first? I agree with you. So is everybody ready? Yeah, go ahead and, should we roll, to listen? You 17. So you hear, you do hear some noises, it's tough to tell. It's like a mechanical tapping on metal tapping noises, but that's all you hear. Okay, so we should go in prepared. Oh, sorry, Eleanor. It's okay. Yeah, I'll open the door. Zellen, Von Chill, be ready. Everybody be ready. So I open the doors. Okay, the doors open with ease, and you see into this room, and this room is a giant circle that slowly descends towards the floor, and it had terraced seating at one point for a show that would have happened on the floor and up in the ceilings. There's catwalks. There's a couple pieces of machinery that were like meant to hover above the floor that have kind of been cleared off partially, and there's wires and things hanging around. And then there's like on the walls, there was other pieces parts of the original show when this was a thing. But there's also an area at the bottom cleared, and a couple of the bottom tiers where people would have been sitting have been cleared, and then there's tables, or what looks like there was once table. It was a laboratory, but it's been trashed. And also you could see down towards the floor. I guess a guardian should have probably told you about this. There's a couple wizards down there that have gone to the great tower in the sky of sorcery. Okay, and how far away are they? It's about the equivalent of, there's 10 levels, so it's about 20, like it's a 20 stairs down. So it's a ways. You could see them. Okay, so, oh boy. Eleanor, what should we do? Okay, I think we should proceed. Can we just can we locate where the noise is coming from? Okay, the noises are coming from the catwalks above, and it's dark up there, and you can kind of hear something's definitely moving around up there, and like there's tapping, there's something going on, yeah. Okay, could I start cranking the flashlight, Eleanor? You can. So we can't see anything up there. Should we just call out and say who goes there? Show yourselves? Okay. Yeah, do you want? Yeah, let's do. Yeah. So I say, show yourself. Who's out there? And Von Chell, if you get that thing cranked, flash it up there. Okay, I will. How many times do I have to crank it, DM? You still need to crank it for a while. Okay, I'm still cranking then. So I call out. Okay, so all of a sudden you see jumping around on the catwalk, a small being that looks like a little bit like, it's about 3 feet tall, and it looks like a combination of, like a humanoid and a pet, and it's jumping around, and now that it's come into the light so you could see it, and it's just kind of looking at you. Okay, do we see anything else on it that would... Yeah, you do see some tatters of wizard's robes on its hands, and it has like a beak. Okay, is it organic or not organic? You can't tell at this point, but it has like some fur. But so we could take a guess that it's probably part of this attraction come to life. So it could be magic. Is the flashlight charged? It is. Okay, Von Chill, go see if you can see any. Oh my goodness, is what you would say, Lord Von Chill, as you see in the center of the room. Not that far, but what was clothed in darkness. This is another being. Oh, but sorry, I don't want to change things up, but I just realized that I got it. We know what it is. You suddenly the Guardian calls you back. Wait, right now? Yeah, and the Guardian says close the doors. Okay. And then the Guardian says that you should rest and take a BREAK. Oh, because I didn't realize what time. You have to go to your appointment, huh, DM? Yeah, sorry about that. I just lost. It was so much fun. I lost track of time. That was a great session, though. You did really good with the platers. And I'll see everybody next week. But I really got to run. Thanks for hosting, and I'll see you all next week. And then we'll pick up right there. We're not a best stopping spot, but a little bit of something to really look forward to. Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering what we were going to see that I'd say, oh my goodness, I will be waiting. But I think it's time for all, I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but I like to take a nap after that adventuring and lie down and rest. Granada, could you make yourself into a pillow for me? No, I cannot do that. Oh, could you, okay, well, I will just rest. Good night, everybody of my party. Thank you. Thanks. That was fun. Thanks. Good night. I want to thank everybody who became a patron recently. I want to thank Kathy, Paige, and Nita. Thank you. Thanks. And good night. I want to thank James, Kaya, and Tim. Thank you. Thanks. And good night. I want to thank Gnome, Alex, and Christina. Thank you. Thanks. And good night. I want to thank Ryan, Chris, and Kelsey. Thank you. Thanks. And good night. I want to thank Raymond, Alex, and Shanzi. Thank you. Thanks. Good night. I want to thank Stev, Don, and Adele. Thank you. Thanks. Good night. I want to thank Alexia, Bald, and Nima. Thanks. Good night. I want to thank Avery, Brianna, and Charlotte. Thank you. Thanks. Good night. I want to thank Mackenzie, Gregory, and Harrison. Thank you. Thanks. Good night. I want to thank Peter, Sarah, and Roberta. Thank you. Thanks. Good night. I want to thank Amy and Robert. Thank you. Thanks. Good night. I want to thank Megan and Andrea. Thank you. Thanks. And good night. Sleep With Me exists as a free podcast because people support the show directly on Patreon and support our sponsors. And we grow as a podcast by people just spreading the word. And that really is a huge help. If you get a chance to spread the word, like right out of your podcast app of choice, you could just share with people on your social media or just over this season, whatever the season is, it's a season of sharing. Just let people know about podcasts in general. You'd be surprised that only 1 out of 5 people regularly listen to podcasts. So showing people on their phone, not just talking about it, but saying, hey, let me show you where your podcast app is. Let me show you how to subscribe. It's free. Don't worry, Nana. It's not going to take up any space on your phone. MP3 files are much smaller. Oh, what are you interested in? Actually take a few minutes, and say, because people are so skeptical. You see, no, there's tons of podcasts about knitting in here. I didn't say knitting. I said nibbing. Oh, I forgot, Nana, that you're into nibbing, which is short for time to end this podcast. So just spread the word. Thanks, and good night. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, BetterHelp. If you've been having trouble meeting your goals or difficulty with relationships, trouble sleeping, or you're feeling stressed or depressed, BetterHelp is available. BetterHelp offers online professional counselors who can help and listen. And you simply fill out a questionnaire to assess your needs. BetterHelp will match you with your own professional licensed therapist. And you can start communicating with them in under 48 hours. And this isn't self-help or a crisis line. online. This is secure online professional counseling. BetterHelp's counselors have a broad range of expertise, so if it's not available locally, that's the amazing thing about BetterHelp. They can match you with a professional licensed counselor with an area of expertise you're looking for. The service is available for clients worldwide. You can log in anytime. I keep hearing from listeners that sign up how much they love that they're able to send unlimited messages to their counselor, and then they get timely and thoughtful responses back. Plus, you can schedule your video or phone sessions, and everything you share is confidential. You don't have to worry about sitting in a waiting room. And BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so it's easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling. Financial aid is available. And in fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. And therapy has been a huge part of my life with the right licensed therapist. It took me a while to find the right person, but I can look back at milestones in my life over the past 8 years and these major turning points. And that counselor was there as I journeyed from one phase to the next. They were giving me the tools in the toolbox. They were listening to me when I just needed someone to talk to and to talk stuff out with. And it's changed my life. I'm so grateful for the professional relationship I have with my therapist. And this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Sleep With Me listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/sleepwithme. Now that's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. And you can join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced BetterHelp professional. Thanks, everybody. Oh, hey, everybody. Scoots, this is interesting after hours of the podcast here. I just want to let you know we got this referral program up and running. If you're ever looking for, right now we have this thing going for the Peace Top 3 shares in January, February, March. We'll get a pair of sleep phones with a Sleep With Me logo on it. If you refer people to sign up and list that actually become subscribers of the podcast, you can do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, REFER, I think is how you spell that. And if you just say, no, I just want a set of sleep phones, you can get those at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones. Now we have all 3 models of sleep phones, all different size headbands, all with the Sleep With Me logo. You can get those over at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones and use Sleep With Me at checkout, and you'll get a little bit off your order. Thanks and good night, everybody. Thanks.